Okay, so it's been one whole year since I posted last on YouTube. I was watching the videos back the other day, and if I'm being honest, looking back at them now, back then I wasn't quite ready to fully commit to this. And considering it's something I really want to do, I'm disappointed in myself for not sticking with it last year. That being said, looking back, I don't think it was the right time in my life to start doing it just then. It's been a long time now, but I was coming off the back of a really bad breakup, maybe 6-7 months before I started doing the videos. I thought I was over a lot of it, but I don't think I was. There was a lot of other issues I had to kind of like figure out by myself along the way. There's a lot of lessons learned from that. 2022 was kind of a bit of a write-off. Didn't really do much progress with my life. Stopped training. Didn't train for at least 6 months, more like 8, maybe even longer if you just include like training here and there. So yeah, overall, fitness-wise, mentally-wise, 2022 was not a very good year for me. And it's almost as if I'm stepping into this year with kind of like a new energy. I didn't quite realise until now, looking back at my videos and at my life, how I've been living it, etc, etc, that it just wasn't ideal. I think, especially these days, you know, when you're so influenced by social media and everything you see around you, you tend to kind of get this false image in your head of what reality actually is, and it can really play with your head a lot. I'm pretty sure I have severe ADHD. I've had 2 therapists now who pretty much said, you know, you definitely have ADHD. All the tests I do say it's very severe. I'm a bit worried about going down the medicated route just because I kind of spent many years, well, I probably spent maybe 6-7 years on antidepressants, and I really don't want to become reliant on medication to deal with this. But I think if it doesn't improve now going forwards in the next few months, it's definitely going to be something I'm going to have to take in consideration. If you don't have ADHD or you don't know what it is, it's attention deficit disorder. The best way to describe it for me is pretty much 24/7 my brain, it just literally kind of like has 10 thoughts coming in at one time. If I go to focus on a task, within like 3-5 minutes I'm like literally doing something else without even realizing it. I have a few clips actually. They're very embarrassing and they won't be in this video, but they'll be maybe in the next one or the one after. Basically just what ADHD actually looks like firsthand, because it's not pretty, you know, like it's really hard to deal with and it's very debilitating. But I think if we do the right things, which we know we should be doing now going forwards, then it will help a lot. So I really don't want to go to the medication route with that just yet anyway. Although I have read and heard some very good things about medication for it, and it can be completely life-changing. So I think I'm going to give it maybe 6-7 weeks, and if it's still similar, I'm definitely going to consider going down that route. So the main reason I'm going back on YouTube and trying to make this stick this time is mainly because during 2022 and even times in my life before, you know, like when I was a lot younger and I was depressed, I could never find any kind of like source of information other than just like government guidelines or some American guy or American girl who's like super happy and like they used to be depressed and like, you know, just do this, just do that and it'll all be better. It's really kind of hard to like take that on board, you know. What they say makes sense, a lot of it, but I can never find any footage of them not being like this really over the top happy person, you know. And I think looking back, well, I've literally tried searching for it, you know. When I've been super depressed or I've felt really low or I've been struggling with a lot of things, you know, you go to the internet, you look for things, and I couldn't find anything where it felt like I was actually like connecting with the person, you know, when they're saying they're depressed, they're not just there with a big smiley face, you know, saying, oh, you just drink your water and do your steps and it'll be okay, go and have some therapy. You know, I was looking for that raw footage of someone taking their life from feeling really depressed to the good place that they all seem to be in whilst we're watching these videos of people being happy and, you know, being these gurus with mental health. It's, you know, a lot of these motivational speakers. I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm sure they've had, you know, a really bad past and they've dealt with depression and they've overcome it. But there was never any like real connection with them, because the majority of it, like I said, is just, I don't know, it's where they are now, and you don't get to see where they've been. And I know for a fact, especially with the ADHD stuff now, I felt so lazy in my life for the past few years. And then really doing my deep research into ADHD, I've realised that it's not actually lazy, because I'm a very hard worker. You know, if you look back at my physique and stuff from the previous years, you know, that doesn't come without hard work. You don't do that by being lazy. It's the same with when I play poker for a living. You know, when I've traded crypto for a living, I've put a lot of work into learning about that. You know, it's a lot of hard work. And it's the same with my personal training business. I spent the first few years literally just completely obsessed with how the body moves, you know, everything to do with training. I was completely obsessed with it. It's obviously paid off, because, you know, I consider myself pretty much an expert when it comes to personal training and coaching these days. But yeah, so the ADHD thing, it can make you feel super lazy. Well, not lazy, but it can make you feel like you are lazy. And if you suffer with it, you'll know what I'm on about. It's almost to the point where your brain is just constantly working all day long, and all your energy is just being spent because your brain is thinking about 100 things at the same time. You know, you can start one task and all of a sudden you're thinking about something else. And it's the same with when I try to keep my place clean and tidy, because, you know, I am normally a very tidy person. I say that, I'm not actually, but that's because of ADHD, I'm sure. But my brain just does not compute with, it's hard to explain, but you'll see what I mean in maybe 1 or 2 videos when I showcase how bad it was. It's very embarrassing, but at the same time, like I said, I'm doing this because I want to help people. You know, that's the main reason I'm doing this for, because I don't feel like there's anything out there that shows somebody going from not their best to a really good place in their life. It's just incredible how shit you can feel when you just feel like you can't do anything. But then looking back, you realise it is a very debilitating disease, I guess, because it can leave you just so, it can literally physically make you tired, because your brain constantly just doesn't shut the fuck up. And you'll see in some of the videos, I sound crazy with this, because when I'm filming myself, like even now, I'm kind of like talking out loud. My brain is firing off a million things, you know. Yeah, so that's the main reason for this. I guess it's a series. We're going to cover a lot of like training. I'm going to try and document pretty much my entire training, because I want to post more than once a week this time, just so I can hold myself accountable and keep it up. Because actually, I do really enjoy making content, and I really enjoy helping people. Even last time, you know, my videos, I only did maybe 4 or 5, and I had like 20 messages off different people, either wanting to train with me or saying, you know, how much it's helped them. They, you know, they realise, you know, that that's where they're in their life as well, and they can push forward now. So it is really satisfying, and for me, it's my purpose in life. I do swear a lot, so, you know, if you have kids watching, just don't let them copy what I'm saying, because otherwise you're going to hate me when your kids are running around asking what the fuck this is and what's your fucking problem. So we don't want that. So please, if you have kids, fair warning, don't let them watch these videos. Or if you do, I take no responsibility for the things that come out of their mouth afterwards. So, as you can imagine, a lot of the footage I'm going to be showing you over the next few weeks is very embarrassing, to be honest. But at the same time, I think going into this year, I feel like my energy is so different that I really don't care, because I know deep down that if somebody is struggling massively in the future and they come across my channel and they see my videos of me at my worst, kind of like, you know, my mind all over the place, physique not where it needs to be, you know, like, because I have put on a lot of weight, I've lost a lot of muscle, and it's just not a good place to be in, because if you're not physically fit, you're not mentally fit. And I know it's 2023 and like, you've got to be careful what you say, but you do have to be physically fit, otherwise you're fucked. Like, if you don't look after your body, your brain goes next, and then you're fucked. And you can dig yourself in such a deep hole that you can never get out of it. Granted, the past year, I've done nothing of the sort, you know, I've done nothing that I know I need to be doing. Yeah, so it's just a bit of an intro video really, just so I can get the ball rolling. I guess what to expect going forward with this channel is just honesty, I guess raw emotion, and I don't really want to be like too open or show too much of it. You know, I don't want it to be a depressive channel. I kind of want this to be a positive channel, even though it's going to be covering, you know, negative aspects of people's lives. But the overall vibe is going to be positivity. Again, back to the energy thing. I don't know what's happened, but I think after the past few years, I feel like the energy I had before was being held in place by certain people and certain factors and how I thought about things and certain life events. But going forwards, I feel like that energy has changed, and there's a whole new vibe, I guess. And a lot of it comes down to you caring what people think. You know, like recording a video and posting some of the stuff I'm going to be posting, it's embarrassing as fuck. And, you know, I still do care a bit, but before, you know, I would never even consider talking to a camera, let alone show you some of the footage I'm going to be showing you. If you've watched this whole video from start to finish without getting too distracted, going back and forth TikTok every 2 seconds, do yourself a favour, pat yourself on the back, because you've just achieved what most people can't these days, having an attention span more than fucking 3 seconds. And then do yourself another favour, make this the last video you watch for at least 1 hour. So if you watched all this, close your phone, take on board what I've said, I'll see you next time, and yeah, turn your phone off. Fuck off. Goodbye.